I would like to speak to the church in America today that is at ease with abortion, that is at ease with murder. What type of animalistic society do we live in where we must beg mothers not to murder their offspring? Like an alternate universe where up is down and down is up, where dark is light and evil is good, how can a church be at ease in Zion when a doctor down the street meticulously dismembers small children? Does not their blood cry from the ground? How is it that a church that is commanded to be the salt of the earth would rather chase after dopamine than work tirelessly to save a life in the womb from being injected with saline? It is like the Twilight Zone 2.0, where political platforms feel more like Munchausen, and we, the people, become complicit. Like a bad case of Stockholm Syndrome, we convince ourselves that our captors are benevolent and that a tiny human is just a clump of cells. Some churches have become like Hanoi Jane, fawning over the instruments of death in the name of love and compassion. Some churches are a modern-day Tokyo Road, who seeks to demoralize any who dare cross the gate to say, babies are murdered here. Some churches are just contemporary noblemen who abstain from the fight because their only concerns are land, deeds, and titles, and church number. Waving their banner, citing the Great Commission, they live like the Great Omission, professing to be good Samaritans, while in reality they have become hellenized by a culture of death and child sacrifice. Which type of church are you a part of? If King Solomon were to stand before you and say, bring me a sword to divide the living child in two, would you be the woman who says, let the child live? Or the woman who says, let the child die? Can you truly say you love your neighbor while holding the coats of those who slaughter the unborn? Can you truly say to the Lord, you have cared for the least of these, while you did nothing in the midst of the Holocaust? Why are so many Christians indifferent to the slaughter of the unborn? Because pastors and youth pastors over the past 40 years have refused to call it for what it is, out of fear of offending and filing it under. That's just too political. We have Christians who can't even defend the fundamentals of the faith, nor can they even grasp the concept that life is sacred in the womb. We have churches trying to figure out how to be relevant and revitalized while babies are being slaughtered. The church has been silent and complicit. It's way past due that we stop coddling adults and playing games in the youth group and start teaching and equipping parents and children to defend the faith and seek justice for the unborn. Judgment begins in the house of the Lord, my friends. It's really hard to believe the church cares for souls when they turn a blind eye to the innocent babies being butchered in the womb. We need prophets, not life coaches. We need the gospel of Christ, not another fluffy sermon series. Abortion is a sin that needs to be repented of, just like any other sin. I am reminded that Christ entered into this world as an unborn child, which is a declaration in itself what God thinks of the unborn. You can't rightly celebrate the birth of Christ if you celebrate the death of or consent to the death of the unborn. Silence is acceptance from the pulpit. Indifference is an abomination. Micah chapter 6 verse 8 says this, He hath shown thee, O man, what is good, and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. Rise up, church, awake, thou that sleepest. No longer be at ease in Zion. No longer be at ease with abortion. Stand up for the unborn. Stand up for those who are being slaughtered. We were made for such a time as this, church. Arise.